Continue with our discussion here about East African communities' preparedness to tackle the continent of Africa on matters trade under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. I'm joined by Dr. Kabata to put all this into perspective. So let us backtrack a little bit, sir. Signing the ratification of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, we've seen some sort of delay from some of our counterparts. We have Tanzania, they have not signed, Burundi and South Sudan. And this is a significant percentage of the East African bloc. What does this communicate out there?
No, you know what it means with the integration of the market is that whatever you produce or whatever you sell, wherever or in the African continent, must come from the original country, and therefore, what is supposed to happen is that as you after signing the agreement, the ratification means that you have to organize your internal policies. Now, what these countries, the reason as to why these countries are slow when it comes to ratification is because of when they look at their markets or when they look at their policies, they see as if other countries are going to take advantage of their market, basically because of maybe the disorganization of the markets, or they are not ready for what is supposed to happen. We are talking about a market of 1.3 billion people, and we are talking about selling of the products that are produced within the country, meaning that if a country like Kenya produces tea, a country like Kenya produces tea and also processes tea, they can be able to sell their tea through the African trade market easily. Now, if as a country, most of the products that maybe you produce are assemblies, things that are assembled there, they do not qualify to get into the free trade market, and that is why you see some countries, even like Nigeria, have been worried. They have had a problem when it comes to ratification. We only have 34 countries have ratifying the agreement, but with even the countries that have ratified that agreement, they have done it 75%, most of them, and we need to do about 90% where we open up our trade borders and also do away with some of the tariffs and also non-tariff barriers, which is a very, 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 very big decision that countries must make. That is why you see some of these countries being slow when it comes to actually ratifying the agreements.
Yeah, and we saw this in the Trump administration before there was a change, where it is more of a protectionist kind of approach to world engagement, economic nationalism. It is my nation first I'm thinking about. On some instance, we've seen this even with some of our neighbors, saying if it is not working for us, then we can't compromise. So in the Africa Continental context, Africa Continental Free Trade Area context, will this be a factor that we'll have to deal with, and how exactly will we boost that confidence so that people are not protectional?
That is one of the challenges that is going to be there, and that challenge will basically be there because we are talking about countries bringing what they produce free to our markets. Now, one of the things that need to happen is that countries must now start understanding that tariff is not going to be part of their revenue, but we can look at the industrial development that is going to be brought about by a bigger market. We are talking about an intra-trade in Africa, which is about 17%, meaning that most of the products that Africans produce, they do not consume them. If you compare that inter-trade market with the other markets, like the European market at 68% and the Asian market at 58%, you realize that although Africa free trade area is a good idea. We still have a lot that we need to do because of some of those challenges that you're talking about. A country like Kenya may look at its industry and see as if they open up their borders and also ratify some of these agreements, they are going to be killed. They are going to be killed by products that are coming from other parts of the continent.
Definitely, and those are strong pointers that countries have to, first of all, look internally themselves, make their products competitive. And once that has happened, they stand a better chance of competing now and taking advantage of this non-tariff, tariff-free trade across the continent. Thank you very much, Dr. Kabata, for your insight on this particular issue. And moving on swiftly on matters energy, Kipeto Energy has connected the Kipeto wind farm to the